Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, number 349. This time, because I'm playing catch-up slightly, Destiny of the Doctors number 7, Shockwave. Now, as with the others, this is, of course, a bit like a companion chronicle. Here, read by Sophie Aldred, famous for playing the most glorious of companions, Ace. Here we have Ace and the Seventh Doctor. Perfectly fine, perfectly understandable, perfectly good. She's also the last of the TV companions until we get to story number 10. And as of recording this, I still don't know what's happening with story number 11. But that's us getting ahead of ourselves. Shockwave itself is a perfectly good Seventh Doctor story. It has the Seventh Doctor story feel of, say, the Virgin novelizations or some of the earlier Big Finish audios. It's got a larger, grander scope than the TV series, but that's to be expected and indeed, well, celebrated. The basic story consists of the Seventh Doctor trying to track down the location of a specific article or item. The background of this is a dying planet, an expanding sun, a death cult, and a security vault on board a ship. All of these, well, I don't like using the word meme. In fact, I'd like to advertise the Tin Dog podcast as the podcast that doesn't use the word meme. But I can't get away from it. There are lots of ideas and ideals that the Seventh Doctor's time sort of personifies, and they're all on display here. If you're not familiar with the Seventh Doctor's time, this is a great way to be introduced to it. Sophie does a superb job of reading it through, slipping from Sophie to Ace with the ease of all of the other earlier readers. The death cult that worships the sun has a similar feel to the rings of Akatan. Akatan, all you want to do. Leave it. But this, well, here it's done well. Let's face it. The large lumbering spaceships, everyone desperately trying to get off-world, all done with an economy of language that genuinely sums up the moments. Yes, there is, of course, the obligatory 11th Doctor interference, but unlike the others, this one's got a definite part of the plot. There are moral ambiguities, moral decisions to be made. The sort of thing that really shone through in the Seventh Doctor era. So yet another example of a very good Destiny of the Doctor's story. It's building and building up to November, and I, for one, am just going to keep going and listen to the rest. Here's the trailer, and I'll be back very shortly because we are playing catch-up. Be seeing you.
When you travelled with a Time Lord in a battered blue box, that's what every day was like. Different from the one before. Some days were like this. A purple sky, full of perfect clouds and flocks of gem birds. And other days were like this. Panic and mayhem, the universe in mortal peril, danger at every turn. In fact, most days with the Doctor are like that. Up ahead, the hull of the cargo ship was a wall of steel, and the faces of the people already on board were pressed up to the portholes. The ship was massive. The airlock hatches sealed tight. The ship was filled to the brim, and anyone who had not boarded was going to be left behind. Doctor Who, Shockwave.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog podcast. Doctor Who is the property of the BBC and no infringement is intended. To contact the show or to find out more about Whostrology and my other works, click on the links on the Tin Dog podcast homepage. why not follow Blue Box Messiah, all one word, on Twitter to keep up to date with tour dates of my forthcoming Doctor Who comedy play. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. It's the 50th anniversary. Last year, you promised yourself you'd get a copy of Whostrology. You know, for yourself, for that bookcase. You dropped hints to your loved ones. You wrote letters to Santa. You even promised yourself you'd buy yourself a copy to celebrate finishing off all that annoying Christmas shopping. But it never arrived. So this year, why not give in and buy one of the funniest books you'll ever read? Annoy your family by chortling away at jokes that only you and a handful of other Doctor Who fans will get. Whostrology, it's the future. Stop hanging around waiting for the ebook to come out. There won't be an ebook. There won't be an app. Buy it today while stocks last. Click on the link on the Tin Dog Podcast homepage or visit any branch of Amazon. You know you want to.